Okay, we're about 4 minutes past the US cash session open. I have the pivot point strategy turned on, automated strategy, running off the PPG1 indicator, the solid line indicator with red and green dots. If you have questions at any time, info@proptradingindicators.com. There's also a special launch group offer listed on the website, all available at proptradingindicators.com. So basically, this is a system that works with symmetrical Renkos, and I do have the automated strategy on in the long and short mode. Now, the PPG1 is currently green, so it's going to take a flip and a red dot for a short signal to trigger me into a trade, automated trade. I only have the automated strategy take trades at 8:32 US Central Time or later. So the first 2 minutes out of the US session open, I don't take signals. We have two modes in the automated strategy. It basically says, if I set my time window to 8:32, it says the first signal that I get that's a dot, green or red, the first one I get after 8:32 trigger me into a trade. That is the signals mode. We also have a time window mode where you could set a specific time, and at that specific time, let's say this is 8:32 and the PPG1 is green. At the bar close, it says, hey, the PPG1 is green, put me long, put my stop in, my target, just like it would happen if I was waiting and had a trade on a signal. So anyhow, right now we're standing by, and the whole objective is I go for 700 a day per 150K account. On a 300K account, going for 1,100 to 1,250 a day. And that's like the range where I'm just going every day to get in, get my hit real quick, and get out. Now, could you set it on a 300K account and go for 3, 4, 5 grand a day? Sure, you could, but do you really need to do that when you can trade 20, 300K accounts? And like this, I'm running CQG data. This is my master account. This can talk out through TradeSyncer, tradesyncer.com, which I love, out to, let's say this is a TPT account. I could talk out to 5 Lucid accounts. I could talk out to 20 Apex accounts, and so on. So there's lots of capabilities now to trade copy, especially that tradesyncer.com. I just have fallen in love with that trade copier. It's made my trade copying life so easy to keep track of, and it's been working very reliable for me. So I give them a lot of credit. That's a cloud server-based trade copier. And then the nice thing, I'm just running one feed into my NinjaTrader. TradeSyncer has their own feed bridges to the various prop firms. I don't have to worry about connecting additional feeds. Okay, it's about 8:38 US Central Time. Let's see, time hack, about 8:38 US Central Time. We're standing by to see if we get triggered into a trade. Once we get triggered into a trade, this is bracketed. There's many features, and I'll show you the settings a bit later. So lots of capability. We have time windows you can set, daily profit objective you can set, daily loss limit, and we have a trail stop mechanism. We have a break-even threshold, which will get activated if I get in any sort of trade and it gets more of an extended run. When price moves to a certain distance, it'll take my stop and move it to break-even plus. It's all adjustable. You can set all that stuff yourself. Okay, it's taken a while today, about 9 minutes after the open. Usually we're in a trade by now, but hey, we'll stand by and see what we get. Okay, market's starting to sell off a little bit. Very likely any little additional push, I can tell, will trigger us into a short trade. That would be the first signal, since I'm in signals mode in the automated strategy, that the automated strategy will allow me to get in, because it's the first signal that happens after 8:32 Central, which is my time window. I typically set my time window from 8:30 US Central Time, Chicago time, to 11:30. Rarely am I ever, still in trades even an hour and a half or two past the open. That would be a pretty rare day. That would be a day where it's kind of slow out of the open, maybe oscillating a bit before we get a more linear price movement. Okay, standing by, seeing if the market will trigger us into a short trade. Kind of surprised we didn't come up and test that pivot. I am watching this area price. If we get into a short trade and we were to push to that area, I'm going to be watching my P&L. If I see us get near 700, then I'll blip out the trade and call it a day. So like I said, I go for 700 a day. Okay, there we go. We're in a trade. There's the short signal. We have our stop that's set. Our target's out about 7 to 1 distance away. I think I had it set to 7 to 1. Usually I do. And I can just eyeball it. I can tell if it just suddenly took off and ran, this would be way over 700 for the day. So I have the stop out there a bit. I'm going to move it a little bit closer. I know that I get 700 somewhere in here before whatever, if it just took off and ran, let's say news hit right now and it took off, ran, hit that would be way over 700 daily P&L, which is fine. No problem with that. So at least when I have the trade entered, I have my target out far away. And there's been one situation, the day Trump tweeted about China stuff, I was already in a short trade. And next thing I know, I hear my target hit. That thing ran 7 to 1 in no time, all the way down and hit that target. So you never know. So standing by, we'll see what we get here. Okay, so markets moved a bit in our intended range. It's oscillating a bit. Not really anything significant about this price level. The real support is lower. Since we have sold off, that area should act as a magnet and draw us a bit lower. I would think we would make one more probe lower if we're not going to rally and challenge the high. But you know what? Who cares what the market's going to do? I'm automated. I'm letting the automation do everything for me so I don't have to think. I can just be the dumb monkey that turns on the strategy. I have flatten button anytime I see it. If I see it push over 700, I can hit the flatten button and turn it off. I can go long only mode, short only mode. All kinds of flexibility and adjustability in the automation. So standing by, and we'll see if we can get our 700 in one trade today. One and done, we call it. And we hit it a fair amount. I've been hitting one and done a fair amount of time. So the objective is I go for 700 a day, and I want 16 to 17 trade days a day that I hit my 700 daily loss limit or daily profit objective. And then I'm willing to go up to 4 days a month where I lose. So I'll risk 900. I'm willing to lose it 4 days a month. That's my typical play. With this strategy, I'm working on some settings where I can get it down to where I'm risking $850 a day to make $700 a day on a 150K account. But I'm only having a maximum of 2 losing days a month. So I've got it. I've got some settings now. So far I've tested about half of 2025, and I've never been more than about 840 and change upside down on a day where I didn't lose. And then I got to my 700. And then the days that lose, they usually are just, the market just is in a really tight range for an abnormal long amount of time. So those days are actually rare, especially when you trade the NASDAQ. But we got guys trading gold, got guys on MES and other instruments. So anyhow, we'll see what we get here. Got about 300 P&L to go. Get another push. That would put me over 700. I'll hit the flatten button, turn the strategy off right away. And that will be a wrap for today. It's kind of taken a long time. It's already 9:16 in the morning, U.S. Central Time. So usually if we get a big push out of the open, we're done like really quick. But anyhow, we're in one trade so far, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, the break-even threshold hit. It took my stop to break-even plus. Not that far away from 700. I'll hover over the flatten button. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put my target, put the target right here in the 33 range. We'll call that good. That way, if it just pushes real quick, it'll blip me out, but I'm also watching P&L, hovering over the flatten button, and any push beyond 700, I could basically just flatten the trade or be done. Or I can just leave the trade on, let it play out until I get an opposite signal. So there we go, 727 and 50 cents, we're good. And the whole thought is just get in, get your hit each day, and be done on the predominance of your accounts. If you want to go in and have one account that you go and gunsling on and trade manually and try to make a big, grand slam hit out of the park every day, go for it. But on the predominance of your accounts, just do something conservative, defined, structured. And what we say is systematic, methodical, and boring. The more systematic, methodical, and boring your trading is, the more money you make. So there we go. There's one day in the bag, one and done, 727 on the day. And let's cover this real quick. The prop trading indicators pivot point strat. Just want to go over some of the settings as I mentioned before. We'll hit add. So I can go in here and set my quantity, put my stop in. I can put my break-even plus risk level. I can put my target like way far away. You can put, it's all open fields. My break-even plus. So in other words, once the market hits X amount of ticks in my intended direction, it will move the stop from where it was setting to break-even plus. We even have trail stop mechanism I can turn on and off. I don't use that myself. I don't really need to. The trade mode, signals, or time window that I mentioned. And then to enable the time window, I always trade at 0832. Anything after that till about 11:30 U.S. Central Time. That's my time window. And we put our settings in here that we would use for that particular day. And we do have getting started video showing you exactly what settings to use. So pretty straightforward. The strategy is not that difficult to operate. And, it's just tied to the PPG1 indicator. And the indicator has a wide range of adjustments too. Let's go take a look at that indicator real quick. Let's go into the indicator section. And we have the adaptive trend cloud. That's on here with the diamonds. We use that for diamonds and dots setups. See some videos on that at the Prop Trading Indicators YouTube channel. And then we have the PPG1 indicator that has a range of adjustability. Very unique indicator built specifically to read symmetrical Renkos. So I took an indicator I've used in the past, updated it, and we did some modifications to it so it has the benefit, or it allows the indicator to read symmetrical Renkos. So we've optimized the indicator for that style of Renko. So there you go, the pivot point trading system. You can see it at proptradingindicators.com. A couple videos talking about what all you get. There is a special offer up on the website. And if you do have questions about anything, info at proptradingindicators.com. So that was our signal short, and down we went, and we were done today for a daily profit objective of a little over, did about 727 bucks. So there you have it. Have a great day, and I'll shoot more content later of me taking trades with the pivot point trading system.